What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Smooth Conversations, where conversations are always smooth. I am your boy Smooth, of course. Smooth the three O's. If it ain't smooth, you see it here. It ain't me. Go ahead and get your own Smooth Creations merch. Go to smoothproductions.com. Once again, Smooth with three O's. Get your merch. For those watching for the first time, thank you very much. I am a DJ. A professional DJ, a host, an MC, a engineer, and Mr. Jack of all trades. And this show has been going down for about 2.5 months now. Start off with St. Louis's own guy Tori that was on the show, who lives in LA. And coincidentally, today's show, someone from the STL who was out in LA doing big things. This brother here, because I don't want to waste his time, he is on a very tight schedule, so we're going to get right into it. But this guy right here, he is an actor. He is a producer, an executive producer, doing big things, making a name for himself. You all have seen him as the annoying Nathan on the hit TV show, Tyler Perry hit TV show Zatima. And it's a pleasure to have him on Smooth Conversations. I need everyone right now to share this stream, get them lights going. Scan that QR code on the top right of your screen and connect with anything and everything Smooth Productions. But with that being said, read them comments as well, your questions, your rants, whatever you want to do. While we have this man on the show, he is a St. Louis native, y'all. Once again, he's from the Lou, and he is proud. And he is on Smooth Conversations, Mr. Cameron Fuller. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh man, thanks for having me, Smooth, man. I appreciate it, man. Love that intro, man. I ain't had an intro that good and I don't think ever. So man, we have to rap after this, man. I might need you to introduce me to everything I do, you know?
Hey, get at me. Have your people. Get at my people.
All right. All right.
Yeah. So for those watching and everything, that they may not know that you are from the Lou, hold things down. So when you hear people say you're from the Lou, and of course, Great Nelly says, and I'm proud, how does it make you feel representing the Lou doing what you're doing right now?
Oh man, it's all I think for every kid growing up in St. Louis, like I think we have a little chip on our shoulder because our city don't get the respect it deserves in the Midwest as a Midwest heavyweight. You know, Chicago and Detroit kind of take up space in the room. So
Right.
you know, growing up as a kid in St. Louis, you always want to put the Lou on the map. And especially after the Rams in 99 did they thing, that 99 2000 run, put us on the map, greatest show on turf. So St. Louis, you know, the Cardinals, Nelly starts bursting on the scene. So now we feeling themselves. So I'm like a young 12-year-old, very impressionable kid with my throwback jersey on. And I'm like, one day I'm gonna put on for the city, I'm gonna put on for the crib. And it feels good to be honest, man. You know, I love St. Louis so much. I owe everything to St. Louis. You know, I got my personality, the jokes, you know, the surviving in these LA streets. You know, I got it all from that St. Louis work ethic. You know what I'm saying? So St. Louis definitely has a special place in my heart always and forever. I love the Lou.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, with that being said, something magical did happen recently in regard to St. Louis. Now, we know over the last eon, well, I would say over the last, let's say 20 some years, like you said, the Rams, of course, the Cardinals been doing their thing and everything for.
Oh yeah, the Redbirds, that's a gift.
You know what I'm saying? The Blues, the whole nine. Mm-hmm. But we're talking about now what Justin Tatum is doing.
Oh,
you know, Bradley Beal and all the other St. Louis legends. Now you're seeing what Sexy Red has been doing in regards to making an impact and representing St. Louis. You're seeing so many other people. So I'm going to show you this photo because I'm big on showing photos. So when you see this photo, what was your first thought when you saw this, maybe in a live or you saw it on social media, but this photo right here?
Oh man. I thought, oh, the Lunatics, they back. Oh yeah. Man, you know what? The St. Lunatics, I mean, come on, man. Like, oh, you know, King of the City, was that from the Osmosis Jones, they did the Osmosis Jones album. They had a song on there called King of the City, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my jam. I mean, Murphy Lee, Kiwan, You know, like, oh man, it's just good to see them up there. You know, everybody, all great groups have their, you know, they go through their friction. They have their moments where, you know, just things are at odds, but it's always good to see a great group. And then you got Chingy there. Like, I
Right.
mean, and Chingy, I honestly feel he'll get the respect he deserves, just as from hip hop, because Chingy held it down for a bit. Right when Nelly was there, Chingy kind of followed up, and him and Jaquan. Like, I mean, we had the game on lock for a minute, man, and they put the battery in a lot of our backs to honestly just go out here and just get our chest poked out. And that's why I walk around all day in LA, wherever Atlanta, wherever I'm at. I'm always rep Lou. We held hip hop down for so long. We put our foot on, we put our stamp on hip hop. So yeah, when I see these guys on stage, this is magical, man. This is
It is.
Lou. This is St. Louis at its finest.
So when I see this photo, and shouts out to the women who also been representing the Lou as well with their music as well. But one person I thought about, I'm like, man, where is he at? And that is Pretty Willie.
Oh, lay your body down. See, that's crazy. Yeah, you took me back to 103 to beat.
There
Oh
you go.
my
There you
god.
go.
Oh
Where
my
you
god.
at, Pretty Willie Sawella?
Oh man. What was somebody used to do this thing called Lover's Lane. I forgot there was a whole like post 8 p.m. type radio life. I see that's back when radio was big too. In
Right.
the mid 2000s, radio was huge. I had a radio shower because you didn't want to mix. The mixes was so good, so you get a good mix. You gotta make sure you press record. You know. So yeah, man. Wow, that's a great photo.
And
That's
shouts out to my wifey. She says can't spell hustle without the FTL.
all day, all day.
So for those who may not be aware, well, before I bring that up, who would have thought that this young man right here would turn out to be the person that you are today? Let's show this photo right here.
Wow, look at that young brother. He look like he belong in the Nation of Islam. Like he
There
about
you
to go, like he ready to serve. You know?
go.
I mean, you know what? I've always that took me back. I've always been kind of a big personality, just so to speak. Always kind of seeing life of the party. So I mean, man, I don't believe I would have. I thought I was destined for the NFL, man. That's honestly what I thought I was gonna end up doing. Like so many great St. Louis athletes before me, the Lawrence Maronis. I mean, the Damian Ashes. Like I mean, just so many great St. Louis players. Jeremy Macklin, Adrian Claiborne. Thomas Merriweather. So many different people that play football. So that was my lane. But I think that kid, he wouldn't be too surprised. Like, oh, we on TV? Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I can see that.
You know what? That photo kind of reminds me of the Wayans brother at the end. Hey, Marlon, say cheese.
It does. Little bow tie. My mom had me spiffed up. Shout out to
Right. But that's what's up, man. And you brought up football. So now I also host a sports talk show. It's called the Platform Sports Talk Show. It's all social media. I've been doing it for 7 years, consistently every Wednesday night. So I mean, tomorrow, if you got time, check it out.
I'm gonna check it out. You might have me on sometime because I'm
Hey,
it's late season for me. NFL. I just kind of love, the Rams are out here, of course, in LA, and we're St. Louis. But ever since Tom Brady kind of did that mojo on us, he kind of made me a fan. And so now that he's gone, I love to just watch it every Sunday. So I got the Red Zone on, so I'm just watching it all, just enjoying all the games. So I would check it out. So tomorrow I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. So you just bought a football. Let's talk about this photo right here.
Man, you got all the gyms, man. Dang.
I got it.
You got the hookup, Smooth. Okay. Yeah, number 30, the Floring Raiders over there in the corner. Wow. And look, I'm the only one smiling. Ain't that just right on brand, man?
One smiling of all people. You know what? Based off your role on the team, I ain't surprised you're the only one smiling.
No, for real. Like even then, it's like everybody's looking all tough, and I'm like, hey, baby, it's showtime. Like we about to go out here and put on a show. Oh man, I played corner for that team, and I'll never forget. I had a fumble recovery. Like the highlight of my season was the fumble recovery. I like scored a touchdown on the fumble recovery. So That was the Floring Raiders 11 Light. We used to practice over there behind Hazelwood Central.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome right there. So let's continue on, because like I said, I got the stuff. Let everyone know, because it's the St. Louis question. What high school did you go to?
Oh yeah, baby. So I got two of them. So I went to Cardinal Ritter, and I went to Ladue my senior year. So I went to Ladue Horton Watkins my senior year. I went to Cardinal Ritter from freshman year to junior year. Then I went to Ladue. Yeah, Cardinal Ritter down there on God, what's the center? That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, up the street from Career Academy, down the street from Career Academy. Yeah, off spring. We used to, Cardinal Ritter, good old CRCP. Shout out to everybody with the Cardinal Ritter. Love y'all. Miss y'all. Shout out to everybody with Ladue. Ladue was great to me. I got a lot of friends, made a lot of good memories out there at Ladue. So yeah. Well, what about you? What high school did you go to?
I went to the V.
Hey, Bashan. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all went on one of the craziest hooping runs I've ever.
Still going on.
Oh yes, I mean still, but that 03 to like 06.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You talk about nationally, like in the country, like y'all was blowing up. Y'all was in East Bay. Y'all was in Atlanta. I was like, yo.
Great times.
Crazy. Yeah, Bashan, y'all produce at the V. They produce.
Yeah, that's one thing about the V you're gonna say is that you're gonna have some ballers out there. So
my goodness, man.
Y'all
ain't slowed down.
So talk about this moment right here in your life.
Oh man. Oh, that was man, it's funny, Smooth. I never really looking back on just high school. You're not really thinking about college at a certain point in high school. You just kind of think about having fun with your boys. You just kind of just enjoying being in high school. So to see this photo, like that guy was not really focused on college until it was almost too late. I had to get them grades together senior year, and by the skin of my teeth, I got them together. And I went to originally out of high school, I went to a small university called Graceland University up in Lamoni, Iowa. Very small school, but I made so many great people there. And then I went to Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, home of the Salukis, 2 hours away from St. Louis, Missouri. So a lot of people from the Lu go to Carbondale. And this is May 11th, 2012, my graduation right here. And
nice.
You can't see it, but on my sash, I have a little quote from Abraham Lincoln that says, "To everything I am and everything I will be, I owe to my angel of a mother." So that was a big moment for us as a family. Graduated two generations of college graduates, keeping that tradition alive.
And speaking of moments, because I'm really big on moments, but you was doing so good, you was even in the papers.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. Hey, I was, man. I was making a name for myself in football, man. Ladue High Fuller. Yeah, that was against Ole Miss. I had a great game that game. Their pictures from Ole Miss down in Mississippi. That was crazy. 60,000 people, loudest stadium I've ever been in, but it was fun. And I balled up that game.
So even during your time in high school and college, was there always a bug in regards to you doing drama and theater and getting to acting?
Never. Never. I mean, honestly, the closest I got was I love broadcast. So I love reporting, and like the idea of being a reporter or anchor was always very appealing to me. So when I got to college, I majored in broadcast journalism. So I kind of knew that I wanted to work in that medium in some capacity. But I never really was like, I'm gonna go be an actor one day. And I might have said it in jest to a friend or two, like joking, like, "Oh man, I'm gonna be on TV one day." They're like, "Cameron, your personality is so big, you're so crazy, you should be on TV." And I'm like, "Yeah, one day I might be on TV." But I've never really seriously thought about it. My goal was to originally, if I didn't make it in the NFL, I'd become a field reporter for like the NFL Network, and do like what Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp now, and other great legendary commentators, black now analyst slash podcast. And I love that whole avenue of reporting and covering the sport. So that was my goal. But the acting came because I was working at a TV station in Houston after my football career kind of just stalled out, and I was blessed enough to get a job at KHOU, which is the CBS affiliate down in Houston, Texas, as a production assistant for the morning newscast called Great Day Houston, which is more like Good Day, Wake Up St. Louis, Good Morning St. It's like very like soft, what's happening in the community type of content, and very much localized to the business community and different things of the Houston Chamber of Commerce was helping to run and promote.
Mm.
And so Lou Gossett Jr. came. And if people don't know, Lou Gossett Jr., Officer and Gentleman, legendary African American screen actor, Oscar winner. He was coming to promote the Racism Foundation on Great Day Houston. And at the time, my duties had expanded from beyond production assistant. I was now the audience coordinator, doing the warm-ups, telling people to clap, booking the audience, so different things. And he saw me doing the warm-up, and he just saw me telling jokes and kind of using my personality to get people to wake up, because the show started at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So people had to be there by 7, and we let them into the studio by 8. So I had to get them, all revved up. We didn't feed them. So like it was all on me to get these people up and, energetic. So I just tell jokes, and just have fun. And he saw me doing that. And he asked if I had ever thought about acting. And I was like, I told him no. And then we kind of chatted. And then, he went on to do a segment. And I went back to work. And like 2 weeks later, I was laying on my bed and I was like, let me just look up Google acting classes in Houston. And that was that was in 2014. And I've been acting since 2014.
Isn't that amazing how you don't have a plan for a certain thing, but God always has that plan for you?
I mean, it's right on time. It's always funny the plans you make for yourself. And I was not running any of this stuff by God. How like my grandmother used to tell me, take something to God first. I was kind of like, wow, this is my plan and this is how I'm gonna execute it. I'm gonna get to the NFL, da da da. And I could have never imagined a decade later that this would be the turn things took. But I am grateful to God for having a far more superior plan for my life than I could ever dream of. So, for real.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now talk about this photo right here, though.
Yo, so this was on the set of my first ever indie movie, shot in Austin, Texas. It's called Here We Are. David Bellarosa was the director out of NYU Tisch Film School, and I booked this a year after I started acting. And so, for me, this was the sign God sent me that, like, yeah, acting is something you should do, because up until that point, I had been doing a lot of auditions for like commercials and industry stuff. And living in Texas, there's not much film work per se that comes by. Maybe a show or two that will be out shooting in Austin or nearby Dallas, or more likely New Mexico. So they cast out of Texas as well for regional talent. And so this was out of Austin, Texas. I drove down. I took off work early, drove down, did the audition. My audition was so good that one of the people casting ran outside and asked me to come back and read with the next person who was doing the scene that I was doing, the actor that was going to play the opposite. They wanted to see us do the scene together then, and so they brought me back. And so a piece of me, when I left the audition, I was like, man, I think I got that. And then, like, literally the next day, my agent, Cindy at Pass 3 Bosby Talent, shot the PB Talent, Houston, Texas. She emailed me and said, hey, Cam, that you got that, you booked the role for that indie movie. They're going to pay you $100 a day for 2 weeks. And I thought that was the bee's knees. Like, you couldn't tell me I wasn't floating on cloud nine. I worked 6 days out of that 2 weeks, and I went on vacation, so I took my vacation time to get off work and go make this movie. And it was funny because at the end of that like whole process filming this movie, everybody was like, man, you're a good actor, I know I'll see you in more stuff. And I just remember like kind of feeling sad, because I was like, man, I gotta kind of go back to my not my life, but like my life's bad or anything, but I really enjoyed this, like I auditioned for this, I got it, and I want this feeling, I want more of this. So that is probably the inception or where the inception began of me trying to rework my mental to psych myself up to really pursue acting full time. And I quit my job in May of 2015. After I did that in February, March. I quit my job in May.
I'm glad you brought that up. Can you just kind of give us behind the scene feeling? Because there's so many people who wants to have that feeling of living the American dream where they can give up their 9 to 5 to pursue what they really want to do. So when that moment came that you realized that, you know what, I can finally step away from the 9 to 5 life and do the things that I have a passion for. What was going on through your mindset, your emotion that you was going through?
So that's funny you say that because there there are two moments, right? So that moment when I quit that job, I hadn't done anything. You know, I had a savings of like $3,200. I did that movie, which after paying my agents and paying their cut, I took like $900 home. Um, but it was to me, it was a sign to God saying, "Hey, are you gonna, really trust me on this and really strike out on this and try to make and do this, make a career of this, or are you gonna kind of sit on the fence and not really have the conviction behind the things you feel in your heart?" And so for me, that was kind of a gut check moment. You know, it's like when you're in the fourth quarter, it's like 2 minutes left. You like I got to score. So I had to quit because I felt like an opportunity would have passed me by. And you know what? An opportunity would have passed me by if I had not quit. So I quit my job in May of 2015.
Mm.
While I was on set for that film, I saw an ad about a Western movie shooting in Louisiana, a cowboy movie. And I was like, but they needed a black stand-in, like a black person to be this cowboy stand-in. And a stand-in, for those who don't know, is more of the person who does all the blocking for the camera while the talent waits for the shot to be set up while they're waiting for the director. So the stand-in will work with the director and the director of photography to make sure they're getting the right shot so they're not wasting time. So usually a stand-in matches the physical description of the talent and same build, height, stature, that kind of thing. So I applied for it. I never heard back because they're like, need a black male, 6'1", you know, Jackson, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, must be local hire. I was living in Houston, but I didn't care. I was like, my aunt stays out there, so I'll crash with her. Or worse, I'll crash in my car. So fast forward to May. I hadn't heard back from that thing. I just quit my job. And then May 16th comes, and I remember praying that night. I was just kind of like, hey, God, like, you put this stuff on my heart. You need to come through. You need to come through for me. You need to give me a sign and tell me that I'm doing the right thing. And I told him, I was like, I want to work with the best actors. I want to work with the best directors. I want to work on the biggest movies. Like, I'm expecting that from you. I stepped out on faith, and I'm declaring this here and now that I need you to pull through for me. Legit, the next day, I get a phone call while I'm picking up my friend from the airport, my friend Shanelia, who's now my godmother of my soon-to-be child.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. And I was waiting to pick her up, and I got a phone call from a lady said, "Hey, is this Cameron Fuller?" And I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Are you still interested in being a stand-in for Denzel Washington on the movie Magnificent Seven?" And I was just like, "Absolutely, I am." So she's like, "Perfect. Can you be in Baton Rouge this Friday, tomorrow?" She said tomorrow, and I was like, "Yeah, I had no plans because
Right.
I think I'm local." So they're like, "Can you be here on set tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Yes." So I went. I literally couldn't believe it. I was like, Denzel Washington. So I started researching the movie, and Denzel was going to play this cowboy named Sam Chisholm in this coming feature of remake of the Magnificent Seven from Yul Brynner and back in the day. Um, so I was like, this is next. And it's funny how God works because I literally prayed for this situation, but in typical fashion of how God works, I wasn't the star. It wasn't about me. It was not about me. It was like, I'm gonna give you everything you asked for, but you're gonna be learning and taking notes. And it was like, oh man. So um I go home and I pack a bag and I fill up my Monte Carlo SS 2001. Shout out to my Monte Carlo. I don't know what
Shout out to the FFs, baby.
you know, I'm St. Louis, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I had to keep
Sure.
but she lasted a long time, but she didn't make it too long out here. But and I floored it to Baton Rouge. I got the set the next day, and I filled my paperwork out. They were gonna pay me $135 a day for the next 3 months.
Mm.
Just be a stand-in. So I was like, I'm not buying because I was like, where I'm gonna stay. I hit up my aunt. I couldn't stay with her because my hours were too crazy. You know, working on a production, you know, your hours, you don't really control. Production controls you. You don't control production. So I made the decision to sleep in my car. And luckily for me, we were filming 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge in this town called Jackson, which is where the main town was for the movie. And there was a high school in the area, and that's where base camp was. So they basically opened up the gymnasium to some of the people, the extras, and everybody who were a part of the background, like the background actors and the talent, and the extras, because they need the same people to work every day. So some of these people came from all around Louisiana, so they were also sleeping in their cars. So they opened up the gymnasium for us every night till midnight, so we could come in and shower after production. And so I was like, I'm gonna sleep in my car out here in this football field with all these extras and these people who are just camped out from all around rural Louisiana, making a paycheck like I'm doing, working on this production. And I made 135 a day for the whole summer.
Wow.
And God is good. I would drive back on the weekends to Houston to sleep in my bed. So Friday, when we get done Friday, as soon as we get done rap, I book in my car, landing in Houston like 2:30, 3 a.m. sometimes, getting some sleep in. And then Sunday night, I'm back on the road. I did it the whole summer. So yeah.
Man, that's awesome. So you got to tell me when you realized that you were going to be a fill-in for Denzel Washington, what did your family say to you?
I honestly don't think like I don't think anybody believed me at first, to be quite real with you. I don't think my mom believed me. She was like, is this legit? And I'm just like, it's legit. You know, I'm gonna be working with Denzel, and she just she couldn't believe it. So I uh I just really I just it was I don't think I even believed it at a certain point. I was just like, this is a blessing, you know. A man I've come to respect and admire, someone who has really shaped the way I see film and cinema. The advice, I mean, just working with him, being in his presence, he really gave me a sense of belonging.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to meet him again here at the top or here in LA somewhere or whatever. Hopefully, a movie we do together. Or whenever I'm in the same room with him, you know, maybe Tyler can introduce us and just tell him thank you because that summer of 2015 was the catalyst for the actor I've become today.
So once again, you are watching Smooth Conversations. I do have FTL's own Cameron Fuller. I'm gonna get right to the meat and potato because you already bought some, the appetizer already. But before I do that, just out of respect for your time, how much time do I have left with you? I just want to make sure.
Let me see. I got about 5 more minutes. So,
Okay, so you just brought them up from one legend to another. The first time you meeting Tyler Perry, talk about that feeling and how much it meant for you to be a part of the cast of Zatima.
Team of gang. I mean, love ain't perfect. That's the theme song. But first time I met Mr. Perry was the first day of. Okay, I can't even say that because the first day of filming, I didn't even get to film. So go back to 2001. We're doing the show. Our first day of filming we run late into the night. So my scene was at the end of the day. So everybody else gets to go get their jitters out of the way and gets to go, because this is our first. Most of us, it's like our first big show. So we were just like, okay. So everybody's done everything. So I come back to my trailer and they're just like, oh man, it was so great. And I'm like, you're gonna do great, don't worry. And I'm just like, everybody's went though. So I get to set the next day and there he is. He's like 6'6". He's like 250. He is a big guy, man.
Mm.
Like I'm talking like left tackle big. Like he is a big guy, big hands. He shook my hand. And I remember I have big hands myself. He made my hands feel small. And I was just like, and then his presence alone, like he doesn't really say much. He gives you his he asks if you know what's going on. you have to know what's going on at all times because he's moving so fast. He's built the empire over there. So he created Zatima as a spinoff to Sisters because Crystal Renee Hazlett and DeVal Ellis, our leads, did such a phenomenal job in establishing their on-screen romance as Zach and Fatima that he immediately knew that something was there. And so getting cast on this show was a true blessing. As you can see, my beautiful castmates there. Oh my gosh, they look amazing. And we all became such a close family, and our chemistry is real. The reason why the show is such a success is because the love is real. We genuinely all get along. There's no ego. We just want the best for everybody, and we want the best for the fans. So we put our best foot forward. And this season 3 that's now airing on BET Plus. Check it out. It's so good. The first 2 episodes have already released. This Thursday, 2 more episodes drop. So get over to BET Plus and check that out. Zatima. And I promise you, you're gonna really love the message we have in this show and the stories we're telling and the real life events that people deal with and they face. We're bringing that to the screen, and I think we're doing a great job of showcasing that Black love comes in all sizes, shapes, and varieties. You know.
Most definitely, most definitely. So the last thing I want to bring up before you have to step away is that there's a project that you have been working on that it means a lot to you. It's called Runway. Let's talk about that project and how much it means to you and why you wanted to go ahead and do this project.
Absolutely. So Runaway, to kind of just sum it up, is about a young girl who basically finds herself in a very tough situation, escaping abuse at home, and the plague that social media can be at times on vulnerable people in vulnerable communities. She's basically preyed upon by somebody she met online, who basically sweet talks her into running away and letting him be her Prince Charming and rescuing her. And this person ends up basically trying to sex traffic her. And it's a story of her harrowing journey from victim to hero in the end. How she basically fights for her own survival and finds a way to escape. And the reason why I wanted to really jump into the subject matter is because I was very alarmed when I just came across some statistics while watching the news about the amount of different forms of human trafficking, what it looks like, and how human trafficking has evolved, and how now, even in these chat rooms that our kids are in, there's so many different tools available to predators. And I think society's catching up now, but I think we've definitely been behind, and parents and in general have not been as adept and astute to the technologies that their kids have access to now at such a younger age. Like, it's not when I was a child where the internet wasn't a thing really. We were on the doorstep of the internet. We didn't really know what that was and the power and the capability it had. Now these kids are growing up in a totally different landscape. They're being introduced to a way they're being introduced to things at a way faster pace and age, and they're not having time to assimilate and really be grounded as kids, and people are preying on their innocence.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you for just using your talents to show off what what you're doing and what God has blessed you with. And I know that you probably believe in this statement because I always say this on the show as well, but it's just very important to be specific in prayer.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Be direct with what you want. Don't just be broad with it. Be direct, because how you said earlier, how you came to God, like, give you an opportunity to be in a role where it could pretty much just change your life.
Yeah.
And exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, for those watching right now, who could be in that field or has aspirations to do their passion, definitely be specific in your prayers and what you want, and also put in that work too, because faith without works is dead. So, and you are a prime example of that, man, putting in that work. So I thank you for your time. I know you're so busy.
Oh, appreciate you.
I have so many loaded questions beyond that. So we definitely have to catch up again for a different time, and definitely you on for the sports talk show, the platform sports talk show as well.
I'll be there. Sign me up, man. I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. So send me a link. I'm
Got
catching
you.
you all.
Got you. And for the people watching out there, did you have any special shout outs before you go?
Shout out to my mom. I love you. Shout out to Teresa, my cousin. Shout out to my family, my friends. Shout out to the whole city of St. Louis. 314 all day to the day I die. It's St. Louis over everything. Shout out to the city. I miss you guys.
There it is. So that is the annoying Nathan from Zatima, the hit series of Tyler Perry. Zatima, once again, Cameron, thank you for your time, brother. We'll connect again very soon, and may God continue to bless you, man.
God bless you and much success, brother. I'll see you at the top.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Amen.
All right, everyone. Well, that was Smooth Conversations. I hope that you all have enjoyed that wonderful conversation. Want to get as much in as we could. I think I did a pretty good job. So make sure y'all go ahead and follow Smooth Productions all on social media by just scanning that QR code on the top right of your screen. And also, of course, you have to go, if you're not already, go on YouTube, Smooth Conversations, Smooth with 3 O's. Subscribe, click that bell so anytime the show is live, just like this one is right now, you will get a notification. Once again, go to the QR code top right of the screen and scan it, and you will connect with any and all things Smooth Productions. And that's it, y'all. So have a great rest of your day and week, and stay tuned for the next edition of Smooth Conversations this Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The promo will be going out as soon as this episode is off the air. And also get your merch. You need some t-shirts made, some hoodies, some tank tops, some crop tops. Let me know. Go on smoothproductions.com, go to shop, put in your request, let me know what you need, and I got you. Thank y'all for tuning in for early edition, but very meaningful of Smooth Conversations. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.